Welcome to What Are You Sporting About podcast, a podcast about business, employment, sports, and entertainment to help educate, support, and guide you to your next level. Here's your host, attorney Sivonnia DeBarros.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Sivonnia DeBarros, the protector of athletes, and I'm so excited to be with you again today. I know I say that every week, but it honestly, it's the truth. What can I say? It is definitely the truth. I love being able to be in front of you guys, providing some real information that can help you move forward in your personal and professional lives. So without further ado, before I dive into the content for today, I have to invite you to the upcoming NIL Combine event. If you have not gotten your ticket, this is the time. This is the time for you to get your ticket. So I'm going to need you to do something for me. I want you to get out your phone or your computer, whatever you might be on at this moment, and visit bit.ly/NIL Combine 2023, bit.ly/NIL Combine 2023, bit.ly/NIL Combine 2023. Listen, the reason why I need you to go and register and share this information with the student athlete in your life, or parent of a student athlete, coach of a student athlete, athletic directors, share this with any and everybody that you know, because name, image, and likeness is huge now in the college space. And I've always said, and I will continue to say this, NIL is something that I consistently help my clients with, whether they are athletes or not. So it is imperative that you understand all of the ins and out of NIL, and you will get that information at NIL Combine. All right. It is an annual event. It is the #1 premier event for name, image, and likeness. We don't skate the surface here. We make sure we give you the tools and the information that you need to go out and implement the information that we provide you. And not to mention connecting you with amazing experts so you can continue to build your own NIL, so you can leverage it the way that you would like to. You can monetize it, but ultimately, and this is the sweet spot for me, I want to make sure you understand exactly how to protect your NIL. So we're going to talk a little bit about that today. But first, I need you to go to bit.ly/NIL Combine 2023 and make sure you register today. I don't want you guys to miss the cutoff time. All right. So make sure you definitely register today so you can ensure that your seat is secured. Now, here's a question that people might ask me is, can I attend this event virtually? Yes, you can, but there are limited seats virtually, and there are definitely limited seats if you want to be in person, which I highly recommend. If you are coming in person, join us here in Chicago, 27th through the 29th of July. That's when things are going to be going down. You will have the ability to network more personally and build those interpersonal skills and relationships with the experts that will be on the ground. So it's a benefit to you, because then you get to really start, jump starting how you want to set up your brand, how you want to monetize and leverage it, but also getting into the ears and the heads of the people who will be around you. So one of the key points of really leveraging your name, image, and likeness is people got to know who you are. And if you're not around people, if you're not building those relationships, ain't nobody gonna know who you are. People ain't gonna want to do business with you. People are not gonna know your brand, right? They're not gonna trust or like your brand because they don't know who you are. So being in person is a huge piece to this. So I invite you to come to Chicago virtually or in person. I prefer personal, to be in person. But if you can't make it, you can definitely join us virtually. You can go to bit.ly/NIL Combine 2023, bit.ly/NIL Combine 2023. Again, bit.ly/NIL Combine 2023. And we will have that information on the website so that you are able to navigate to the right ticket option for you. All right. And so there are multiple ticket options available. Don't miss this opportunity. Okay. Do not miss it. You will be upset at yourself. I'm telling you, and I don't want you to be mad, and I don't want you to live with regrets. So, if this is the right move for you to make, there is no hesitation about it. It is time for us to I don't want to say put our money where our mouth is, but make the moves that is going to help us make the best decisions and more powerful moves on our journey towards the success that we said we want for ourselves. You can't claim that you want something, but you're not willing to put in the work, right? Or you're not willing to make the decision. We got to dead that indecisiveness. Okay. We got to dead that right now. So get your ticket. Registration is open. I don't want to increase prices on y'all, but the price is going to go up. So if you want to make sure you get in right now on the ground floor at one of our lower prices, because this is the second edition. Okay. So if you want to get in on the ground floor at a lower price ticket, this is your opportunity to get that right now. Go to bit.ly/NIL Combine 2023. All right. The event is happening July 27th through the 29th in Chicago. All right. 27th through the 29th in Chicago. So, guys, I'm excited. I'm super excited. And I want to talk with you about something that is so important around protecting your name, image, and likeness. Now, I probably have talked about this before in one aspect or another, but there's never too much information on protection. Let's just say that there's never too much information on protecting your name, image, and likeness. But today, I want to present that to you in the realm of pop culture, in the realm of hip hop and music. So if you've ever watched a Hulu series on the Wu-Tang Clan, it is amazing. And I definitely urge you to go and watch it. It's a long series, but there's so many lessons embedded inside of that episode of that series. And I want to start with one, authenticity. Authenticity. Do you know how real authenticity is? And no pun intended, but being authentic to self is so germane to your success. It is so germane to your success, because when you're authentic and you're true to just who you are, it is so hard. It is so hard to do something else, because you're like, hold on, wait. This is who I am. And when I know who I am, I understand my purpose more. I understand what I've been put here to do. We have to be authentic in who we are in every room that we show up. And when we're authentic in that way, it helps us to build something that we call leadership skills, right? Leadership skills. A lot of people are on this quest to try and figure out who they are, number one, and what they are called to do, which is our purpose. And when people don't know who they are because there's been, family and society or environmental issues, where when you put those things together, if they've all have been singing the same narrative, mentally you start to think, well, that's who I am. That's who I am. So I must be made to do this, or it must be true that only the people who look like me, who live in this place, who make this amount of money or none lack thereof, is supposed to be this. And it's so untrue. I had a conversation this morning with one of my partners on the event, telling her about how excited I am to return to Afrofest in Lisbon, New Orleans, Portimão, Portugal. So, hey, if y'all don't know anything about Afrofest, this is a place where you need to be. But I was explaining to her about how this has become my self-love event, my annual self-love event. I don't care what's happening, but it's my self-love event, because guess what it does? It eradicates the negative stereotypes about Black people being in one area at one time who cannot get along. Afrofest is amazing. There are Black people from all over the world who are congregating and enjoying each other's company and speaking multiple languages, right? So it eradicates negative stereotypes that I grew up hearing about my own community, okay? So we have to just rid ourselves of those negative stereotypes, regardless of who it is or was that placed those labels on us. That's not who we are. That is not who we are, but you have to be the person on the quest to really figure out, who am I truly? What is the real nature of myself? What is it that I want from me? And once I start really ridding my mind and my spirit of all of that bull crap, now I can truly see and uncover the layers of who I am and who I was called to be. And when you know who you're called to be, that gives you more freedom to be authentic and to walk in that authenticity. Period, point blank. And when you're walking in your authenticity, it leads you to those leadership skills, because then other people start seeing you being true to who you are, being true to your craft, and no matter what happens, that's just how you that's how you show up. That's the thing that you do, and that's how people start to recognize you. So with all that I've just said, put that in the context of Wu-Tang Clan. Okay, the RZA. I love his voice on the show. I'm the RZA. Okay, I don't know. I don't know if I said that right. But this young man, even though everything around him, community, the environment that he grew up, low income household, siblings that had to be taken care of, because I think he was the second oldest, older brother selling drugs. So obviously he thought he needed to sell drugs, and that was what his community did to survive. And if you know anything about the criminal community here in America and Black individuals, Black males primarily going into the system, it's so hard to bounce back from that, because if a young Black male is caught up into the system, then they typically continue to repeat in the system because there's no other resources or opportunities for them. But here, this young man is with this spirit of music. The one thing that he could think about was music, beats, and how it flows, and the lyrics, and how it would match up with all the guys that he knew. Like, he intrinsically knew and understood his peers, the other guys who he knew were some of the hardest rappers in the game. He understood them on a very soulful level, that every time he created a beat, he specifically created a beat for that person. And his authenticity and his truthfulness to his craft almost got him killed. It almost got him killed because he was so busy listening to music that when a rival gang tried to burn them out of a house, like, he literally almost got burnt up because he wasn't paying attention. Like, what is the one thing that you do so much? No one has to pay you to do it, but you just do it because it's just who you are and you love it. That's you being true to your craft. So why are you trying to push the needle for something else that just doesn't make sense? That's why you're getting so much friction, because you're not being true to self, right? So I wanted to lay that foundation, because when we start talking about really protecting our name, image, and likeness, we truly have to understand, what is it that we do day in and day out that is really who we are. It exemplifies who we be. It is authentically us, okay? But everybody around him, the rival gangs, the people who was in his crew, in RZA's crew, they all knew that, man, that's just your thing. Like, you are the person that is in tune with this music on a whole nother level, to the point that it frustrated people, especially his bigger brother. He's like, yo, I need you to pay attention. I'm gonna need you to go and get this money, but get your head out the clouds with all this music. But it's hard. It is hard to turn somebody off from something that they were just born to do. Okay. But here's a point I want to take you guys to. There's a scene, and I shared this. If you follow me on Instagram, follow me on Athletes Making Moves. But if you follow me on Instagram, I shared a clip where RZA is telling his cousin, they call him Old Dirty Bastard, I can't remember his real name, but he's telling him what label he signed him to. Now, prior to this, RZA's talking with his brother, who is now his executive of the Wu-Tang Productions. And there's a decision between Elektra or oh my gosh, I'm forgetting the label. It'll come to me. But the cousin wants to be on this other label, like bad. He grew up saying that he wanted to be on this label. If you know it, if you know the label I'm talking about, drop it in the chat if you're watching this live, because I cannot remember. Def Jam. I think it was Def Jam. Okay. So the cousin wants to be on this label so bad. It's one thing that they've always talked about with as kids. So when they're in the train station and RZA has to break the news to him, he's like, cuz, I signed you with Elektra. And his cousin is pissed. He's like, why would you freaking do that? You know, I want to be with Def Jam. Like, are you choosing Method Man over me? And RZA has to explain, I'm not choosing him over you, cuz. Like, I made this decision because I chose you. So you don't get what I'm saying. I chose you. Now here's the difference. Def Jam wanted Old Dirty Bastard, his stage name, but did not want to provide him with any remedial rights. Remedial rights being the right to own all of your music after a period of time. Elektra, however, said, hey, cool, we'll give you X amount of hundreds of thousands of dollars to sign on with us. And after 20 years, all of your rights to your music, all of the rights to the music will revert back to the original owner, which would be the Old Dirty Bastard. So RZA is trying to explain to him, he's like, look, I know that you're mad at me right now, but 20 years from now, you're going to say, you know what? My cousin looked out for me and he was right. He was like, cuz, I'm trying to set you up. Like, you don't have to worry. Your grandkids can eat off of this. In 20 years, you're going to see and you're going to appreciate that I made this decision for you. But still, his cousin couldn't see it. That was a legacy move that his cousin made for him. When you are true to yourself, when you understand intrinsically your gift, when people trust you to be a leader, and he also said that he was like, that's why you trust me to be in this position. You basically vouched for me to make these hard decisions, and I made it. I made this decision for you. You may not appreciate it now. You may not understand it now, but you're going to understand it and you're going to appreciate it 20 years from now. We're talking about protection. We're talking about protecting your NIL. And a lot of people don't see it. A lot of people make decisions from desperation or clout. Clout being, what is the biggest stage that I can get on, without recognizing you can get on the stage, but if you leave with nothing, what is it all for? You ain't got nothing. You don't have anything to show for it. But RZA protected the long-term interests of his cousin's name, image, and likeness. His musical rights, right? When we're talking about musical rights, we're talking about anybody creating derivative aspects of that music. So if I want to chop it up, make a different version of it, that's a derivative aspect of that music rights. The lyrics itself that goes with it, the beat to it. It's not all encompassed as one thing. There are multiple layers to this music. And in 20 years, all of the rights to that will revert back to that original owner. How many of you are thinking about 20 years from now when it comes to your name, image, and likeness? How many of you are thinking about multiple aspects of what NIL is and not this one encompassed general idea? Name, image, and likeness is more than you just going out there and posting something on social media, more than somebody paying you to post it. It's more than you just marketing something. It literally is a legacy move. And if you are not protecting it at this early stage, you're going to wake up years from now, like multiple people that we know and celebrities that we know that were the hottest thing to hit the market, to hit the movie and film streets or the music stage. And now all they are is like this old school one-hit wonder that don't have shit. Is that who you want to be? Is that who you want to be? Because I'm going to tell you what they missed. They missed the authenticity of who they be. They missed showing up and being a leader. That means diving deep into the things that you know you need to do so that you can set the record straight for yourself and for everybody that comes after you. Right? One thing that RZA did differently, because he failed the first time, he went by the stage name Prince Rakeem. He failed the first time, and he still had that burning love and desire for music. But he recognized, he was like, okay, to have a different result, I have to do something differently. How many of you have heard that saying? He didn't say this on the screenplay, on the Hulu series, but that was the MO, that was the process that he went through. If I want a different result, I have to do something differently. And doing something differently was now not chasing the fame and the money of becoming this huge music star, but it was, I have to change my entire perception around this. The biggest success comes from the business of music. Ooh. Oh, okay. Mic drop. The biggest success comes from the biggest or the business of music. If you're in a place right now of saying, I don't want to deal with name, image, and likeness, you might as well, because at the end of the day, you have NIL, whether you want to do something with it or not. If you are on the other side of that coin and saying, well, I want to see how many dollars I can create from my NIL, you're looking at it from a fail start position. And I'm saying that because you're looking at it from the first aspect of what RZA, the mistake that he made. He looked at only the money. How much money can I make from this? And he had no control. He had no control of how his brand was presented. And it didn't do well because it was people who had control of how they wanted to present him to the mainstream media, and it flopped. But when he changed course and he realized that the success is going to come from the business of doing the thing versus me just trying to show up as this artist, right? Hoping that I can make a way. Now, when I put myself in front and in control, I can protect my name, image, and likeness. I can protect how my brand shows up. I can protect what that long-term gain would be. The biggest play that he made that I love the most, number one, all of them had a dead, like this little, this crew versus that crew type of situation because they all were talented. And he said to them, he said, we are all stronger together. We are all stronger together. And they are. They are. They were. They still are. But he made a business decision, a business move. We would be collectively the Wu-Tang Clan. But I need you, the business move, I need you individually to sign on and give me 5 years of your life. I need you to trust me, leadership skills, right? Also trusting his authenticity, trusting his craft and his gift. But he said to them, I need you to trust me at least for 5 years. At a minimum, I need you to ride with me hard for 5 years. I'm not telling you it's going to be easy. I'm not telling you we're going to eat, right? But if you trust me and you stick with me, we will eat. We will have success. But he also created a legacy play to make sure that every member of the Wu-Tang Clan could go out and get individual deals. All right? So now you set up this empire. You got the Wu-Tang Clan as an overarching production. And then you have all these smaller companies. Think about it. Individual rappers are almost like little small subsidiaries because they go out, they get their record deal, and guess what happens? Part of that individual record deal has to come back in to the Wu-Tang production. Are you thinking about your NIL that way? Are you thinking about your brands and how you're going to set up your business that way? Because if you are just on the mindset or on this level of, I just want somebody to pay me this or pay me that, and not thinking about the business of it and how your NIL will be diced and sliced or duplicated and who gets a cut of this or whatnot, you're going to lose out. You're going to miss out on so much. So I'm not through the full series yet, but I loved seeing that piece, and especially that hard conversation that he had to have with his cousin about setting him up 20 years down the line. People, he couldn't understand it. But even if you struggle with your own authenticity, if you struggle with really creating those leadership skills and it's hard for you to even lead and guide yourself, the one thing that you have to do is put people around you who you know are going to have your back, regardless of whether you like it or not. Like, you like the decision that they make or not, but you trust their counsel. You put those people around you because it gives you that extra layer of protection. It reminds me of my grandparents or my mom, people who had to make hard decisions for me growing up. And there was a lot of shit I ain't like, y'all. Oh my God. There were so many things that I did not like. But the older I became, the more appreciative I was, the more appreciative of that life I had, or the hard decisions that people had to make on my behalf. It put me on this trajectory, on this path to success that I didn't know I would be on. So if you know you struggle with that, who is the person that shows up consistently? Who will help you make decisions consistently? Who will tell you the truth? I'm not talking about yes men or yes women, but people who will tell you the truth, whether you want to hear it or not. Those are the people who you have to have around you. Those are the people who are going to champion for you. Those are the people who are going to help you make the hard decisions, whether you want to make it or not. Those are the people who are going to make you really look at certain things and make you confront yourself on why you're choosing one thing over another, why you're doing one thing over another. There is so much that we can learn from this Wu-Tang series. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. One being the people that you surround yourself with. The people we surround ourselves with is so important. It can be the difference of life and death. I mean, literally. It could be the difference of life and death. People could literally feed you trash that is detrimental to your being. The things that you hear, if it's not breeding life, is breeding death. Period. There is no in between. There is no, well, it might be doing something. No. If it's not helping you to become better, then it's killing you. And you have to put yourself around somebody else. But the importance of you recognizing that is, do you know who you are? It takes us back to point one. If you don't even know who you are, then you can't be true to self. You can't be true to your gifts. You can't make those hard decisions. So come on, y'all. Like, at every stage, we have to be looking at, how am I protecting my NIL? Because NIL is greater than just the saying of NIL. And that's what people don't get. That's what they don't realize. So if you want to learn more about this, if you want to be in a room with somebody who's going to give it to you real like this, then you need to come to the NIL Combine. Look, I'm not trying to push this down your throat. I'm just trying to help you to create a future that you can be proud of, to help you to create a future that you won't regret. I have a motto of living without regrets. Every decision I make, I'm not going to regret it. You know why? Because I made it knowing that it was something that was going to push me forward towards my goal, period. If I spent that money, cool. I'm going to spend that money because I have to see what's going to happen. I don't want to not invest in something that can move me forward and then regret when I see other people actually moving forward, right? So if you want to get this information, the place you need to be is at NIL Combine 2023. Period, point blank. Listen, I would love to see you in person. So why don't you go ahead and register right now at bit.ly/NIL Combine 2023. That's bit.ly/NIL Combine 2023. bit.ly/NIL Combine 2023. Registration is open and it's going down July 27th through the 29th. The 27th is a completely virtual day. So it doesn't matter where you are, you can still attend this event. You can attend this virtually or in person. So go ahead right now, get your ticket while seats are available. The fees will be going up. So I don't want you to miss this lower level of our first release for the NIL Combine event tickets. So go ahead and register, share this with anyone that you know that can benefit from the information. You can go to bit.ly/NIL Combine 2023. Again, that's bit.ly/NIL Combine 2023. We are literally on a mission. We're on a mission to impact 50,000 student athletes in 5 years so that they can truly, intrinsically understand everything about what NIL is. Like I said, y'all, this is more than just social media. Take it back to what I just talked about with the musical rights, being able to control things and control your brand, being able to see how certain derivative rights will be split up, like how you can make money on top of money on top of money because you understood how you are going to layer and leverage your NIL. This is the place to be. We're different from other events. We don't give you surface level talks. We're not over here to just whoop, whoop, whoop you up, right? We're over here to give you real knowledge that does not expire. So you can truly take this into any transition of your life, apply it, and create success on your own terms. All right? You want that? Because I want that for you. I want that for you. So I hope I see you in July 27th through the 29th at the NIL Combine event. You can go to bit.ly/NIL Combine 2023, bit.ly/NIL Combine 2023. I truly hope that I see you guys there. So it was a pleasure speaking with you all today. As you know, if you've come here many times, if you follow me on social media, you know that I am the protector of athletes. I'm out here in these streets trying to make sure that you keep your stuff. I want you to keep your stuff. And one more thing, if you have not yet subscribed to the What Are You Sporting About podcast, I don't know what you're doing. Go to your favorite podcasting platform and subscribe so you never miss an episode, okay? Subscribe so you never miss an episode. Until next time, guys, I will check you later. Ciao.
This week on What Are You Sporting About podcast. Make sure to visit our website, prosportlawyer.com, where you can subscribe to the show in iTunes, Stitcher, or whatever your favorite platform is, so you'll never miss a show. And while you're at it, if you found value in the show, we'd appreciate a rating on iTunes or iHeartRadio. Or if you'd simply tell a friend about the show, that would help us out too. If you like the show, you might want to check out our book, What Are You Sporting About? Attorney Sivonnia DeBarros is available for private consulting at sldebarros.com. And remember, we're here to educate, support, and guide you in your journey to success because we're all sporting about something.